Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's part 34 today and we are back as promised for a big second leg in our Europa Conference first knockout round tie. We've got young boys in Switzerland of a 3-2 lead after the first leg. We've got to continue the job at Easter Road and get through to the next round as well. We did come back a game later though, as we played Rangers in the league. Turned out to be a game we shouldn't have missed really. But that's because we've got Kilmarnock in the Scottish Cup, and that's a competition I'm very much looking at. So 2 big games in the space of 3 days. It's going to be hard to keep everyone fit and everyone involved. We'll try our very best. So if you're looking forward to this one and you are enjoying the series and the move to the new club so far, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. This one and Bangor City rotating each day, in addition to 2 live streams a week from Dundee United. And plenty of content over on the podcast channel too. You can catch up with all of that in the eye above. But let's go and have a look at the schedule first to see what's been happening since you were last with me. We had the Celtic game and transfer deadline day, of course. And since then, we've had an unbeaten February. Now, it's been a little bit frustrating. We've had some difficult draws on the road, and we've not really got much closer to obtaining 3rd place. But we have been able to sneak through and do well in cup competitions. So we won 3-1 away at Dunfermline in the first game of the month. Boggers, the young Pole midfielder, got 2 goals and Kevin Nisbet got 1 just after half-time. Glenn Middleton scored the goal against us, a former hero from the Cliftonville save in FM20 of course. A 0-0 draw followed at Motherwell, a result we'll take given the circumstances, as we really struggled to keep up with 2 games a week. Partick Thistle next, a 1-0 win at home in the Cup, a heavily rotated side saved by a Saba goal in the 33rd minute. A 3-0 win at home to Livingston, Mallon, Nisbet and Porteous with 1 each. A 1-1 draw away at Aberdeen. Jayden Stockley equalised, a former Luton failure after a Jason Cummings first half goal. And then back-to-back wins, remarkably, against young boys away from home, Nisbet, Boggarts and Cummings getting a goal each. And then against Rangers with a heavily rotated side. Look at the likes of Palmer, Astley, Maishi in midfield, Sabat, Deavia and Jordan Jones, none of them in our regular first 11, all of them contributing to a brilliant win. A last 15-minute turnaround from Rolando Deavia and from Saba as well, after Adamola Lookman's early goal looked for so long like giving Rangers the victory. But we got the win and that has given us a boost. We are back within 3 points of Dundee United in 3rd place, a real chance for us to get up there. We've also got a great chance to get through to the second knockout round in the Europa Conference today. And then we've got the Scottish Cup quarter-final against winnable opposition. That's all we can call it. Kilmarnock down in 8th place in the top tier. 20 points behind us. We should be favourites. But it's 3 days after a European tie. I have to prioritise. The dynamics look exceptional. The staffing's pretty good. And everything else is going well. So let's go and get into the first of the 2 games today, as all of the focus from this point is firmly on the pitch. We've got loads of opposition instructions. We keep getting told to give Will Vauxhall a rest, but he's a player who I really have a lot of admiration for. The long throw is something that can be so beneficial, but I don't know if today's the day for it. And to be fair, the other centre mid's just as high a risk of injury, so we might just do an hour of one and half an hour of the other. Aside from that, we're really happy with where we are. I might bring Saba into the team for the weekend. He's someone who's made an impact when playing. But for now, this is the 11 we're going for. It's Lackey in goal, Sutar and Doig the fullbacks with Porteous and Dunn at centre-half, Vauxhall at the back of the diamond, Mallon, Farrell and Boggars at the tip, and then Nisbet and Cummings together up front. A brilliant 11, a solid 18. Deavia missing is a bit of a worry for us. He's done really well when he's played so far. But let's go and get into the second leg of our Europa Conference match. It's going to be a big one. We hold a 3-2 lead from the away leg. We've just got to make sure we avoid defeat at home. Can we do it? Let me know what you think. Well, in we go. It's a very important tie this, because if we get through, the financial implications are excellent for the club. Depending on the draw we get, it's a real chance at competing for a European trophy, or at least the very latter stages, and it can give us all the momentum in the world for the Scottish Cup quarter-final. And momentum can do an awful lot to overcome tiredness, as Morris flicks on a throw-in. It's Dunn who clears downfield, Nisbet loses out, and now Keena picks it up in the middle. As you've seen, they've got some good players you recognise from England, Keena being one of them, as Lackey saves the shot straight down the middle. I'm not quite sure who that Morris is on the left. We'll have to check, as the long kick forward towards Jason Cummings, just headed back to his own keeper, and he's cleared downfield. Sutar intercepts. Stevie Mallon Of course, a man we're managing in 2 series, the live stream as well. Through ball to Jason Cummings. It's a good save. He's going to get to the rebound first. But he went away from goal. He didn't try to shoot. It was a fairly acute angle, but I reckon he could have got that in. But with 15 minutes gone, it's about keeping on top. We've had more of the game so far, but I just want a goal to settle the nerves. Let's see if we can get it. And we're back as Morris, the aforementioned man, has picked it up on the left-hand side for our visitors. The Swiss team coming forward wherever possible. Bruno Costa looking for the overlap. Lefort on the left delivers. Oh, it's a poor tackle. Zakiri's forced wide though. Back to Morris. Back to Lefort. Into the box. Headers into the top corner. Oh, I don't want a nervy night in Europe. As it stands, we're all right. We're still throwing away goals. But they've looked to threat whenever they've come forward. And despite the chances on the match stats there, we have really struggled in terms of highlights so far. So 1-0 to the visitors, 10 minutes to the break, and I'm a little bit nervy ahead of the second half. But we've got a throw-in on the right-hand side, just a couple of minutes to the break now. Sutar finds Mallon, he picks it up in a holding role to Farrell, and to Porteous, wide to Doig the left-back. Now can we come forward through the middle? We've got the extra man in there, as Jason Cummings looks wide again. Doig's overlapping, there's 3 in the box, but instead he goes back to Will Vaux. Little bit of a safe option there. We're not trying to penetrate the back 4. It's been a little bit difficult to understand. As Dunn gets it in, that's a better pass. Boggers plays a 1-2. Jason Cummings is in. And he's shot straight at the keeper. Nisbet gets to the rebound on the right. It's been forced really wide. In the end, it's cleared out for a throw. A disappointing half. And we're going to need to do better to get through in the second. Half time, 1-0 to the visitors. 3-all on aggregate. And at the moment, we're hanging on by away goals. Not the way we want to do it. But we've got a corner kick. In-swinger by Stevie Mallon, headed away. And now we've got a chance to get caught on the counter. Boggarts is trying to get there, but Dennis wins it first. And now, we've somehow been left with a 5-on-1. Dennis gets it back to Keener, edge of the box. And they've got a chance to get the shot away here. And in the end, it's just over the bar. I've got to drop to balanced because we're getting so overrun in the middle. And there's a lot about that which concerns me. We don't want to throw away this game. We've got to get through. It doesn't matter if we do it on away goals. We just cannot go out under any circumstance. Half an hour to go, and it's the Swiss side on the break again. Coming forward on the right with Denise. His cross is blocked. Back to Bruno Costa. Chance to beat the fullback and deliver. He's into the box here. Gets it across goal. And John Sutar has passed it into his own net. Now we have to go positive. We are going to berate them. It has been a disgraceful performance in truth. It has been the worst since we joined the club. And we need to be saved. 1 goal still puts us through on away goals as Stevie Mallon decides to hit the first man again. That's better though. Jason Cummings heads over. We've got 25 minutes to save ourselves because this has been an awful night in Europe. And if Dundee get through in their game, they were ahead after the first leg. It's going to cause even more problems. I'm going to drop Boggess into centre midfield. I'm going to bring on Saba, often the saviour as the number 10. I would take off Nisbet, but of course we haven't got Dallavia today. In terms of fitness, there's so many options. There's nerves at right back from Sutar, who scored the own goal. So Mark Flynn on for him. And we'll just leave the last one another 10 minutes. But my word, this has been an awful performance. We're going to go attacking. I don't know what more we can do. We're going to demand more. But it's a young boy's free kick. Into the box. It's going to be 3. We're definitely out now because even the away goals can't save us. What on earth has happened? We'll take Stevie Mallon off just for a rest now. But this has been by far the worst display we've produced. I don't quite know how to describe what's happened here. We need 2 goals in 12 minutes just to force extra time. We've got by far the less fitness of the 2 teams. And at the moment, it's still all the Swiss visitors who are going in. Zakiri's into the box. He's hit the post. It should have been 4. And after the first leg, where we were pretty evenly matched and we managed to nick an extra on the counter, we have been well and truly outclassed here by our Swiss visitors. And it leaves a lot of concerns for us as we move towards the end of the season. A lot of these players knackered as well ahead of the Scottish Cup quarter-final. And if we go out of both cups in a day, it could be a bit of a nightmare end to the season. We're into stoppage time. We're definitely not getting through in this one. It's about a consolation now as Vaux over the top to Nisbet. Gets into the box. Chance to shoot. It's blocked by the defender. Took far too long. Nisbet again picks it up. Back to Flynn. His cross is cleared by Lefort. Dunn gets there. But there's nothing doing. It's been an even game. The expected goals is far in our favour. It's under 1 for them. But I don't know how to describe that. It is the ultimate European smash and grab. We're going to get really annoyed. They're demotivated, but I don't know what by. It's an awful performance in truth. And we didn't really look like scoring much. So a 3-0 defeat, we are out of Europe with a shocking performance. And no financial rewards either, which is going to make the summer a lot harder. Let's skip ahead to the weekend, the Scottish Cup quarter-final, and hope we can do slightly better in that one. Otherwise, this could be one of the worst episodes of the series. It's Scottish Cup time. There's nearly 13,000 coming in to watch Kilmarnock v Hibs today, and we've been recommended to make a lot of changes. Now, I'm guessing most of that is fitness-wise. Look at that, it's pretty horrific. And these lads, they've just run out of steam. Perhaps we should have rested players in the second leg of the European game. But I feel our best chance here is by resting a lot, by rotating heavily. We've got to play the same keeper as Mike Cooper has still got a knock. But there are plenty of changes we can make to the outfield team today. So Souttar should be fully fit. He rested for quite a lot of that match. He's got recurring injuries in his past, but he's still only got a normal risk of injury there. Porteous, normal too. So let's get Astley in alongside him today. We'll have Souttar right back, Astley, Porteous. The normal left back is Josh Doig, who's tired, so Wilson Esbrand will come in for him. That's our back four today. 2 changes, and we've rotated it slightly. Into midfield, Will Vaught's tired. Maishi will come in central midfield or in the holding role. In centre mid, Farrell, Mallon, Boggers, they're all gone. So let's bring in Saba. Let's get Mark Flynn in. And who will be the last one? That's the big question. It's either Kyle McGuinness or probably one of the tired ones. So I think we're going to have to go McGuinness. He's a decent enough player. It's not like it's hugely weakening us. And up front, Nisbet, normal risk of injury. Jason Cummins, high risk of injury. So we're going to go for Nisbet, Dallavia up front. Cummins dropped to the bench, as will a lot of the other boys. Jordan Jones will be sub 6. I'll put Springett on there as well. We'll have Palmer and Coulson for legs. And then we'll have a couple of first teamers just in case we need something special. So one of them will be Doig. And the other one will need to be a midfielder. So we're either going to go for Will Vaux, overall high risk of injury. Lee Farrell, pretty high as well. And Mallon, high. Do you know what? I'm going to go for Vaux because I believe him to be the least important of the two. I've just realised we've got to have a keeper on the bench as well. So Cooper will come on for... I don't know who. Which one do we take off? Doig, Vaux or Coulson? I'm going to take Doig off the bench. I know it's a weakened side, but we have to keep everyone fit. And that means that this is our best chance of winning the game. A heavily rotated 11 to face one of our biggest games of the season. It's the Scottish Cup quarter-final. And I really hope this gamble pays off. Because fitness, morale and momentum, I'm ranking over ability today. Let's see if it works. 7 changes from the last game. It could all blow up in our face here. It could go awfully wrong. We're resting probably 6 or 7 of our best players in the squad. And we've just got to hope it pays off. We have to hope that fitness beats them here. Because Kilmarnock have been playing lots of games. I mean, between these 2 matches, we had the biggest slap in the face after leaving Dundee. Our game against them, which had already been rearranged for mid-March, has been put back another week because they're playing Mainz in the last 16 of the Europa Conference. After we went out to Young Boys of Bern, we could have been playing in that round as well. So that was a little bit of a kick in the teeth, but we're going to get through it. And next season we will have a good side here. I don't know if it will be playing the narrow diamond. I don't know if we'll get away with that. And in addition, if we survive this chance, which we might not, Huula's in. Oh, it's awful defending. What on earth is going on back there? I was going to say we'll drop to balance just to try and make it a bit more steady. But I don't know if that's going to make a difference now. We're going to demand more from them. A lot of these boys are complaining they want a place in the team. Well, this is their chance to earn it. And so far, they've put absolutely nothing into this match. It's 1-0 to Kilmarnock. We've had no shots on target. And with 5 minutes to the break, it looks like we're going out of 2 cups in a week. This might be the worst episode of the series so far for us on the pitch. Pearson heads the ball away, the former Luton man. We've of course got him at Dundee United in the live stream series. Porteous picks it up in the middle for us though. Finds Mark Flynn. Back to McGuinness, to Nisbet. Back to Flynn again. No real drive to get forward. No one wants to play that through pass. It's all a little bit safe at the minute. Flynn does find Saba though and then goes back. Flynn, Saba, turn, finds Nisbet to Souttar. He does try to play the pass, but he's not the right man for it. It's back out to him again on the right though. McGuinness finds him, delivers to Nisbet and takes a poor touch and goes back out wide. Souttar again, delivers in, Saba heads in. Always the saviour off the bench. Saba has come on from the start today and he's given us a chance in his cup quarter final. Kilmarnock 1, Hibernian 1, and our first shot on target of the match results in it being level at half time. A pretty decent display. We've had more possession, we've had better expected goals, just as we did in the last game, but we're fragile at the back. We're not playing those through balls. You can see the pass completion rate is exceptional, but that's because we're not taking risks, so we might have to adapt that a bit next year. Something we've seen with Bangor, we've had to get a little more direct with the forward passing, and it's worked a treat in the narrow diamond. But I think it's more likely we'll end up changing tactic in this one. We've got to get through to the end of the season though, and the Scottish Cup is still a good trophy chance, as Dallavia gets it from Saba. Back to McGuinness, to Mark Flynn. That's a brilliant strike by the youngster. What a finish from the 18-year-old. 2-1 to Hibernian. We probably don't deserve to be ahead. It's been a very even game, but Hibernian now have the lead. This episode might yet be saved, but it's a free kick on the right-hand side. Kilty puts it in. Astley heads away. Dallavia flicks on. Nisbet will get there first, and he's going to turn his man here, is he? Tries to get away from him, but he just hasn't got the pace. And that's what we're missing up front. None of those three strikers really have that explosion of acceleration. As Harula gets in at the other end. It's disallowed for offside, but it was fairly close. And the defence just stood absolutely still. A very strange game this has been actually. But with 25 to go, we're on our way to get through. And as it stands, that's all that matters. I'm tempted to make some changes because Porteous is knackered, but he's been our best defender. And we haven't really got a centre-half on the bench. I'm also mindful of the fact that in midfield, we're both weaker in some areas and lacking quality in others. So Dallavia I'm going to replace with Jason Cummins. Like for like swap up there in the advanced forward role. In centre midfield, I'm going to have to bring Will Vauxhall on for McGuinness. He's going to be the playmaker, I think. Suits him just as well, so we'll stick him there. And we'll save the last sub for another 5 or 10. And just hope we don't get ourselves in a spot of bother again. We have to remember as we come towards the last 10 minutes that Kilmarnock have not had more than one shot on target yet. The only one has been the goal as Kilty puts a throw in. Doig flicks on. That is so easy. Harula in the end has his shot blocked and it's hoofed behind for a corner. But that just can't happen. It's so easy. It's into the box. Meishi heads away. And it looks like with 5 minutes to go, it's going to be a backs to the wall end to this game. Who do we bring on? Who do we take off? I just don't know. I think, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to replace Nisbet with either Jones or Springett. Jones probably has more on the counter-attack. Springett is natural on the right. Saba can play naturally off either side, I think. So it doesn't matter which one we bring on. I guess do I bring Springett on because he's not played a game yet since we've been here? Give him a chance to shine. He'll replace Nisbet and go out on the right wing. He will be an inverted winger on support. Saba will go over to the left-hand side. He will be an inverted winger on support. Jason Cummins will play up front on his own. And we're going to drop the wing-backs to defensive duties. We're going to drop the defensive line to standard. We are just going to try and sit in a shape. 4-3-3, 4-5-1, whatever you want to call it. And make sure we don't get overrun in the middle. That's what we're going to go for. That's how we're going to work. We're going to be more disciplined. We're going to time waste all the time. And with 5 minutes to go, reaching a cup semi-final is pivotal, given what happened in the first half of today's episode. We're into 4 minutes of stoppage time. We've got a final highlight with 15 seconds left. Clementia, the Kilmarnock keeper, goes long. Lindsay flicks it on. Where's the defence? Where on earth is the defence? Harula hits the post. It's cleared away by Wilson. He flicked it on, the winger. And there were two strikers with not one defender in sight. Why have Porteous and Astley pushed up so much when we've told them to drop deep? As it is, we get away with it. Vauxhall wins the tackle. Wilson to Saba, and the final whistle thankfully goes. Because if we'd had 5 more minutes, we would have lost that game. Kilmarnock 1, Hibernian 2. Certainly not a vintage performance. Certainly not deserving of going through. But we do. And that is the most important thing. A fantastic result. A very poor episode in terms of performances. But we've got a Scottish Cup semi-final draw. So let's go and see who we get and whether we've got a realistic chance of winning this one. Celtic got through in their game, so there's going to be some tough opposition. And in fact, look, Celtic will play Hibernian or Kilmarnock. So Celtic at a semi-final draw. And based on recent performances, that does not make me confident whatsoever. 18-year-old Mark Flynn is the hero. He scored an absolute rocket, despite having a poor long shot rating. And in the end, we've got him to thank for saving a disaster. Because aside from that, it was a pretty ordinary episode. The European performance was disgraceful. The Kilmarnock game, we're very lucky to get through. and we now get to sit and watch as our former club Dundee, having beaten Hajduk Split, they get through, and they've got the test of Mainz, the Bundesliga side, and we're going to be a little bit envious of that one. However, they're playing us 2 days before the second leg, so I'm hoping we might get a rested Dundee side, and maybe we'll have a chance there. But I'm going to do the same as we planned to anyway. I'm going to rest absolutely everyone in big games, and I'm just going to try and get through some of the smaller ones, some of the winnable ones, and get points on the board for Hibernian, because third is our only realistic target now. So the first part of that process, of course, is Dundee United in midweek. They are the side currently above us. I wonder if they played at the weekend while we were in the cup. They didn't. So 3 points clear of us, and that game will decide it. If we win it, it's back in our hands. We're going to play those few games, and we will be back for the Dundee reunion and a big game against Celtic, the old firm side. Hopefully a youth intake with some more positives than the head of youth development is suggesting. But a massive game. The Dundee reunion's up next. I hope you're looking forward to it. I hope you'll come back. But if you did enjoy this one, bitter disappointment in Europe and a lucky fluke in the cup in the end, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments what you think of the tactic. Is the narrow diamond realistically going to work in Scotland? Have we just got to tweak it? Have we just got to be patient? It's very different to what they were playing before. But of course, so far, there's been a lot of defensive frailty. Having said that, we have been unbeaten domestically since the start of last month, so it isn't all disastrous. It's just the performances are a concern. So we'll keep an eye on those things, but give me your thoughts down below. If you haven't already, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily content releases from 2 long-term stories, as well as 2 live streams every week on the channel. You can catch up with all the current playlists in the eye above, as well as a link to the podcast channel. Plenty of football content over there. But a massive thank you for watching, your continued support with the series and the channel in general. And those of you, whether you said it was right or wrong for us to leave Dundee, we'll probably get our answer next time out. We'll be back for the reunion, and will we have egg on our face? I'll see you next time to find out.